Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in today's Warcry Fighter in Focus, we're going to take a look at the BESTIGOR from the Beasts of Chaos. And here we go, here's our BESTIGOR, and he's from the Beasts of Chaos faction, and his role in the warband is to charge forward, get stuck in and really do some damage to the enemy. And you'll see as we go through the abilities later on that really favours that and really kind of drives that narrative forward. And with this miniature here, I've painted him with contrast paint, looking for a tabletop ready standard, and to match the terrain that I've put for the kind of homeland for my Beasts of Chaos warband, and I'm running a campaign with them at the moment. I've gone for this reddy orangey kind of armour, and that's going to reflect the environment from which he comes from and lives in. This model comes on a 32mm base, and you can see from the ruler here that up to the top of his horns is about 45mm, and then to the top of the axe is just under 55mm. So he's a real good size miniature, but let's compare him to some of the Ungors just so you can see the difference, because these are the kind of bigger brutes of the warband. And you can see here he's quite a fair bit bigger than this Ungor, and the Ungors come in to like a maximum of 30mm there to the top of his kind of hunched shoulders. So these BESTIGORs are really stood up proud, and you can see they're a lot tougher, and they're going to be a lot stronger than these little Ungors. But don't underestimate the Ungors, they can do some damage too. Right, so now we've seen the size comparison, let's have a look at the fighter card and the abilities, and we'll also take a look at the universal abilities and see which ones favour this BESTIGOR fighter. Here's our fighter card for the BESTIGOR, and you can see you've got the image here that will match the fighter, although you can pose him in a few different ways and give him some different attachments, like some horns, some smaller axes and things like that. But most of them are going to be like this with the two-handed axe, because they're really powerful, so they're going to be swinging that axe with both hands. The fighter's going to come in at 115 points. We've got the warrior rune mark, which is really fitting for this fighter, and we've got the faction rune mark for the Beasts of Chaos. The BESTIGOR's got a movement of 5, so he can certainly cover some ground. He can take 12 wounds, and he's got a toughness 4. With the weapon, the axe has got a weapon range of 1. He can make 3 attacks at strength 4, and that's going to deal 2 points on a hit and 4 points on a critical hit. So for 115 points, this isn't really outstanding, but it's pretty good. I mean, you've got a strength 4 and a toughness 4. That's always nice. You've got that 2 to 4 on a crit. Ability wise though, I found, you'll see later on as we go through it, the ability for the faction isn't that great, so I really only count this as having this extra ability with that warrior rune mark, but it is a pretty good one, which we'll find out later. But when I compared it to this guy during a recent battle, this one's coming in at 120 points, and this is the Seneschal from the Legions of Nagash. And just to do a little comparison here, you can see that for 5 points more, you do get an extra attack. You're a little bit stronger at strength 5, and you deal 2 to 5 damage instead. You also get the ability for the Legions and 2 other abilities, which are actually really good. But you are lacking on movement. You've only got a movement 3. You're not as tough, but you can take some extra wounds. So I think really, to get those extra 2 points of movement and that extra point of toughness, you're giving quite a lot up when you compare it to the Seneschal. But let's look at the abilities before we make our mind up, because it is a really solid ability that can do some damage. And I think once you get these BESTIGORs into action, they can actually be quite effective. So here we go, here's our ability card for the Beasts of Chaos. And the first one that he can use, because he's got that rune mark for the Beasts of Chaos, is the double called Brayherd Ambush. And with this, a fighter can use this ability only if it is the first battle round. This fighter can make a bonus move action of a number of inches equal to the value of this ability. So this is a great ability for the first round. You can really push them forward and get them stuck into the battle. They make that bonus move action, and so you could make this bonus move action first and then get straight into the battle with a double attack. So if you can close down your enemy quick, you could potentially take out an enemy fighter really fast, but you can only use it in the first battle round. So I think bearing that in mind, then I would always look to put some BESTIGORs in one of the kind of deployments that are going to come up first. There's no way of guaranteeing you know which ones will come up first, though, so you've got to be careful. Maybe have a few Bestigors and space them out. So that's a bit of a drawback, just having it in that first round, but it is effective if you can put it to action. But that's it. That's the only ability that you can use as a member of the herd. But he does have that warrior rune mark, and that's going to be for this triple ability here called Bestial Charge. And with this one, until the end of this fighter's activation, the next time this fighter finishes a move action within 1 inch of an enemy fighter, pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter. Then allocate a number of damage points to that fighter equal to the value of this ability. Now this is a great ability. If you're getting 5s or 6s here for the triple, then you can just immediately put 5 or 6 damage points down on an enemy fighter there. And so this is a really good one. So, you've got to kind of finish a move action though. So there's a little condition here. So you have to take a move action and finish that within 1 inch of an enemy fighter. So you couldn't just use it if you're close to an enemy fighter. You have to move first. So that's a little condition there. But it's really easy to do that. You want to get these Bestigors in the fight anyway. So this Bestial Charge makes complete sense, and you can just really do some damage. So, if you think you take out one of the smaller enemy fighters with 8 or 10 wounds that they can take, and then you immediately do 5 or 6 with this charge, and then use your next action as an attack action, you could take them out in one go. So I think that's where these Bestigors really shine. But these are the abilities he can use. So it's not too many. But to be fair, not having that many abilities isn't a drawback. It kind of makes it a lot easier and quicker when you play the game. You haven't got that many choices to go through. You know exactly what you're going to do. And it really simplifies the tactics, which I think isn't a bad thing for a kind of herd mentality that the Beasts of Chaos might have. So I think it's not a bad thing altogether. And I think this is a really great ability for a triple. But now let's have a look at the universal abilities, and we'll see which ones will favour this fighter. Right, here's our universal abilities. And I found I was using these quite a lot in my battle with the Beasts of Chaos. And, you got this double rush, so you can add to their movement. You got the double onslaught, the triple respite, the triple inspiring presence for a leader, and the quad rampage. And I found I was using onslaught a lot with this character. Being able to add 1 to the attack's characteristics of their attack actions during their activation was really great. And that took it from 3 attacks up to 4, so that was really useful. I mean, once you can do 4 attack strength 4, dealing 2 to 4 in a crit, then that's a lot better, and that really is something I think that's important to use with this model. Again, you want to get him up close, so ideally in one round you'd move in, get in amongst the enemy, and then the next round make the most of your activation by doing 2 attack actions and then bolstering that with this onslaught double ability. So I think for me that's the one I was really focusing on here with the universal abilities, and alongside that triple Bestial Charge, this would be the kind of second best option I think for this fighter. If you like the look of this Bestigor and are interested in picking it up maybe for a warband or even for your Age of Sigmar game, then these are available at Element Games with the RRP at £27.50. But I find the best way, certainly if you want to start a Warcry Warband and get into a campaign, is to pick up the Start Collecting set for the Beasts of Chaos. And this is a great value set. You get 10 Bestigors, 10 Ungor Raiders, a Cygor, and a Bray Shaman, and the RRP for all of those miniatures is £90. But that Start Collecting set has got an RRP of £60, but with a discount at Element Games you can get it for £51. So I think this is a really great way to get a solid warband together. You get a really interesting leader, it's a great looking model. You get that huge Cygor that you can use as a monster and bring into your warband during campaigns, and then you get more than enough Ungors, Ungor Raiders and Bestigors for enough for even 2 warbands really. So you've got tons of points value in that, and price wise you can't beat it. And what I've done is I've added a box of Bulgors to that for £28.50, and so for that price I've got a really awesome warband to put together. I'm really excited about. I can use one of the Bulgors as a proxy model for a Doom Bull, and then that way I've got nearly all the options. The only other ones you could look at are the Centigors, and then you've also got the Dragon Ogres, but for me I'm not into those. I'm just really happy with pretty much what comes in that starter set, and then with those additional Bulgors, I think you get a great selection. So I'll put links to that in the description below to Element Games, and those links will be affiliate links, but they won't cost you anything extra. In fact, you're going to save that money, and for every sale made through a link, you help support the channel, and I really appreciate that. So thanks so much. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there. I hope you enjoyed the video and found out a little bit more about this BESTIGOR, and if you like the Beasts of Chaos, then check out my campaign that I'm playing at the moment with the Beasts of Chaos, and then you can see them in action. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.